Hello, hello. I'm Vicky Igbokwe-Ozoagu, your lighter leadership coach, and welcome to the Lighter Leadership Podcast. A conversation I had recently has really stayed with me, and of course, I want to share it with you. At first glance, it looked like a pricing issue. A project, a fee that didn't feel right, a sense of being undervalued. And the question was, how do I stop underpricing myself? Now, this is usually where this kind of advice then comes in, right? It's the advice to charge more, know your worth, be confident in your pricing. And while none of that is wrong, because if we're working together or if we're in a conversation together, I know I'll definitely say that to you. While it's not wrong, it doesn't quite get to the heart of the matter. And in this case, with the client I was having a conversation with, something very specific had happened. The scope of the project doubled, the budget didn't. And instead of addressing that directly, the work was, let's say, redistributed, which basically meant the original fee didn't just stay the same. Effectively, it reduced a great deal. So the feeling wasn't just underpaid. My client is now feeling disrespected, overlooked, and exploited. But as we slowed it down, something deeper became clear. This wasn't a one off, it was a pattern, and they clocked in our call that a pattern was emerging. And the pattern actually wasn't, I don't know what I'm worth, because actually they really do. And I know that you do too. What actually emerged, and what I want you to think about, is I don't hold my terms early enough, right? Because what often happens is this: the relationship forms first, the building, the connection builds even. There's a rapport, right? And then the business conversation comes after. And normally, then by that point, it's harder, right? It's harder to set your boundaries, it's harder to name your fee, and it's harder to challenge changes because now this feels like there's something to lose, right? So instead of having the conversation, you adapt, you accommodate, and you, classic one, make it work. And over time, this creates a pattern where your work is consistently undervalued. And not undervalued because you're not capable, but because of the conditions you're agreeing to. So the shift here was a simple one, not easy. I'm going to acknowledge they're not always easy, but it was a simple one. And it was this: hold your nerve and set the terms early. Hold your nerve and set the terms early before the relationship deepens, before the scope expands, and before expectations start to shift. Your fee, the scope, your boundaries, be clear from the start. It alleviates so much of the confusion and the unknown later. Because when you protect your fee, the scope, your boundaries from the start, it doesn't just it doesn't just protect your income, right? It doesn't just protect your income. It actually shapes how people work with you, how they interact with you, how they communicate with you, how they hold your value, as well as you holding your own. So the thing I want you to take from this episode is this. You don't get underpaid because you don't know your worth, because we both know you do. You get underpaid because you don't hold your terms early enough and confidently enough. So here's a question that I want you to sit with this week. Where are you waiting too long to set your terms? Where are you waiting too long to set your terms? And if you're looking for a space that can give you some time to reflect, you are always welcome to the Lighter Leadership Reset. That's 30 minutes of protected thinking time. The show notes will tell you everything you need to know about when the next one is. And in the meantime, remember that your leadership gets to be lighter. Lots of love.